It's a very special year for us this year because we are 20 years old this year. 20 years old. And we haven't been able to exist for these 20 years because we were born by you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this thing that we love. Wow. So, over the last year, I thought, what could I talk about on my 20th anniversary in Flight Report? And I thought it'd be fun to take you guys through a quick visual tour of 20 years. What I think some people know, but many don't, is that Fantasy Flight Games is actually a trade name for a company called Fantasy Flight Publishing. And in Fantasy Flight Publishing, I started in 1995 because I had this idea that we could publish European comic books. And so we got the rights from a number of comic book companies in France. And we thought this was going to be fantastic. I was hoping to talk to a crowd just like you guys at San Diego Comic-Con one day. Because I love comics. My hobby was games. So we started with the comics. We did the Lucky Luke comics in '95, and later we did a few other comics. But this was a very, very challenging year. So we were basically starving. It didn't really work. It did teach us how to print, how to make a print production. It taught us how to do plays and use the software. And so one day I'm like, we're starving, we're almost dead. But I have this idea for a game. And I think we can make it because I've learned how to do this print production. And so in 1997, we scraped together whatever little resources that we had in order to make this game right here, which is fun. I remember having going to the comic book conventions with my car loaded with boxes of these comics and going to sell like maybe 2 comics or 3. And it was sort of depressing. These were great products, but it didn't work. So I didn't have any real anticipation that Twilight Imperium would be much different or it would be better. So we filled our station wagon up with it and drove to Origins, and we sold the whole carload the first day. And we're like, oh boy, no more comics. We found a different thing to do. And so since that date, really, since that Origins 1997, we've been on a mission to the best games we possibly know how to do. And so that story continued. It was rough. It was a rough couple of years because even making games is not that easy, especially back then. We made some big board games, Battle List, Thunder's Edge, Twilight Imperium, but it wasn't really until we came out with this little game called Discourse in 1999 that we really had what you could call a hit. It was this really cool little game with flipping discs, and you could make armies of them, and it really sort of brought us to the idea here that you can make something innovative, something different, and you could be rewarded for it. And that was an important lesson for us. And by the way, this little blue bar, what it is, it actually went back and got the revenue number for every year. And this little bar is kind of giving you a sense of what's happening on the sales front. So then in 2000, we had another big breakthrough in the sense that the Discourse had given us a little bit of resources, so we hired, we think we're up to 3 people at the point, and I happened to get in contact with some people that had the Lord of the Rings license, and I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. It's probably the thing that's nearest to my geek heart, and the chance to publish a Lord of the Rings product was just unbelievably great. And I could stop right there and get happy. But we got that game, which is just terrific for us because it opened a lot of doors. And obviously, I believed in this property, and there were some movies that came out about a year and a half later, which of course blew Lord of the Rings back into the public conscious in a major way. At about that same time, I don't know if you guys remember, 2001 was very short. 2001, we actually got into the role-playing business. We had been dabbling in the Call of Cthulhu role-playing business throughout. That's another category that's really near my heart. And in 2001, we were able to get on board with the D&D 3rd edition D20 bandwagon. You remember D20? Anybody remember D20? All right, that was a big deal. That was a very big deal. At Gen Con in 2001, that was huge. That was the cat's meow. And so we got into role-playing, and we have been able to keep that department open ever since. And I'm really proud of the work that we've grown in that department over the years. We started doing small board games and card games, so taking the resources that we would get from the Discourse or from Lord of the Rings, so we started diversifying and tried to find kind of a rhythm in what we were doing. So we had Citadels in 2002, and then Game of Thrones is kind of interesting because we had Lord of the Rings, and we were thinking, we have a Lord of the Rings game, which is a great literary property. There must be some other great books out there that people will want to buy a game on. And so there are a lot of books we're bandied about. We looked at Dune would be great, right? Dune rights weren't available. One guy in my office, Brian Wood, was like, I really like this book, Game of Thrones. It's really cool. It should be cool. I'm like, I never heard of it. Never heard of it. Don't do it. And then one of my other friends from England, who's here in the room today, came over for Gen Con in 2001, I believe. And I was looking over, he was driving from Minneapolis down to, at that time, Milwaukee, I think. And looking over, and what was he reading? He was reading Game of Thrones. So the guy was telling me something, and maybe I should take it seriously, so I went back and read it, and obviously, hopefully you guys will all have or will read it. And so we got a hold of George Martin, who was a great guy. We were his first licensee, and we were just going to do a great job with this awesome series of books. And obviously, you all know what happened in the last couple of years. It's been an unbelievable ride. Very, very grateful, very humbled that we were able to get into this property so early and really make a difference. One thing that it's a good story about Game of Thrones, actually, is that when the card game actually came out first in 2002. We were going out to each other and saying, hey, this is this great card game. You should carry this card game. And they were like, I've never heard of this book. Well, why should we get this card game? We have all these card games and TV shows, and why should we carry them? So what we did, we had a deal with Bantam, where we actually bought, I think, 2,000 novels, and we wrapped the rules of the card game around the novels, and we sent them to every retailer in the country. So we like to think that we have a little bit of a role in getting that book into the public. Because obviously, when we released the board game a year later, it became something, even in our industry. Game of Thrones started taking on a meaning. And George's rise, obviously, has been phenomenal since then. So then we get into 2004, we started getting into some of the bigger board games and media board games. We were doing role-playing games, and I remember when I played role-playing games, when somebody didn't show up, we would always be like, no, Joe didn't show up. Let's play Talisman, or let's play something else. And so the idea that if you make games that told stories that had a role-playing experience really began to grow in our minds and start coming into our DNA. We had a game like Runebound, which is a game that we're very fond of, that it came out and that really made a difference to us. We started understanding how to make these things. We started understanding what kind of quality of components that we needed to put in games to make them click. We did 2005. It's 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we got into 2005. And there are many formative years. I would say 99 in Disc Wars was the year that's we're almost dead, it saved us. Twilight Imperium was an important year. But 2005 was the year that probably is most important in our DNA today. This was the year where we released Twilight Imperium 3rd edition. About 2 months later, we released Arkham Horror. About 5 months after that, we released Descent, Journeys in the Dark. And 1 month after that, we released the World of Warcraft board game. All in 1 year. As we released those games and we saw the reaction to them, we sort of had figured it out. This is what we wanted to do. This is style, time, and grit of game that we wanted to do it. And we're very proud of everything we accomplished. Obviously, over the years, we've learned how can we do it better, how can we make it more engaging, how can we get even more people to get into these games. 2005 was one of the most important years, certainly in our company's history. In 2006, we had lots of stuff. For example, we re-released Drakon again, which was just re-released last month. But ultimately, that year was about pushing, making expansions, and pushing those big games we had released in 2005. And we're getting into 2007. We followed up on the success of the World of Warcraft board game, StarCraft, and had several other products. And just around that time, we started having discussions with our friends at Games Workshop because we had been working with them over a couple of years to bring back a couple of great board games, such as Superior Dracula. And we started talking with them about maybe being a more
close partner with them. And so in 2008, the year that we launched the LCG model, we actually made a fantastic agreement with Games Workshop to be their key partner for board games, card games, and role-playing games. And while I can't show every product, on here, I can tell you that the Games Workshop products was a very significant factor for us over this next couple of years. We're very grateful for them for their partnership. 2008, LCGs come out. This is a model that we're really excited about. We continue to be excited about. And so in 2009, we started releasing a lot of these Games Workshop products. We supported the Warhammer 40K role-playing line. So when you think about it, now we're moving from 40K role-playing that had its roots in small Call of Cthulhu adventures with D20 skills that we had acquired all the way back 5 or 6 years earlier. In 2010, was a year where we keep releasing these big board games, figuring out how to really hone in on what we want to do. But the business keeps growing, we keep adding people. As we add people, we start getting into some of the complexities of running a business. And that's something that we're continually learning. We'll probably always be learning. We get into stuff with lots of staff, how do you communicate with everyone in the offices, how do you coordinate many different complex projects. But we move on. 2011, there's a big spike in 2011 as the LCG model really takes hold. We released the Lord of the Rings LCG, which is one of the most successful products we still have in our lineup. And in 2012, Star Wars came out. Okay, this was an incredible year. So I would say our formative years, 2005 was early. 2012, who was here in 2012? I mean, this was crazy. Okay, we had at the show, we released X-Wing and we released the Netrunner. And it has been one of the most amazing experiences and daunting experiences because we simply did not have enough product. For X-Wing and Netrunner, for example, we brought more products to Gen Con than we've ever brought before, but we were taking a task over how little that was. We had a guy, and that night we had to have a guy drive down, stuff his station wagon full of Netrunners, and drive overnight from Minneapolis here just so we could have a little bit more for all those people that really wanted it. It was a crazy time. Then we get in 2013, business is really hopping. We're really supporting X-Wing, Netrunner, releasing games like Eldritch Horror, and so that brings us to 2014. Here we are, more Star Wars. Everything is growing. Everything is crazy. We released Imperial Assault, which is just last December, which is our biggest release in the history of the company. And here we are today. We're releasing XCOM earlier this year, which to me is a very special product because it's the first game we're really trying to think outside the box and add a digital element to the game. And that's where we are now here today, 2015. So, pretty nice. So, thank you for having the patience to listen to my little story. So, let's talk about today. Let's talk about last year. So, over the last year, we had a lot of exceptional things happen. For example, this is a big one. We merged with a great game group called Asmodee. Why did we do that? I wonder. First of all, what it does, there was a vision that Asmodee sold me, and I believe in, is that we want to be a truly great international games company. There's a lot of big toy companies out there, but none of them focus on the greatest toy of all, games. We want to be there, we want to be a great part of that. When you grow a business and you see that line go up and up and up, there's a lot of responsibilities that come to a CEO and to the management and to everyone involved. We have a lot of responsibility to you, customers. We have responsibilities to our staff members and to our stakeholders. And one of the things when you're at that point that you're wondering, how do we keep doing all this great stuff? How can we keep it up? How can we stay around? And one of the ways to do that is to diversify. Is to say, well, we should start making beach balls and blow up dice and other diversifying into party games and kids games and so on. But Fantasy Flight's not very good at that. That's not really what we're about. We slowly discovered what we're really about. And we actually wanted to stay FFG and make those games that we really believed in. But in order to really grow and to grow your careers, your livelihoods, and the people that work for us, we have to find a way to keep that up. And so what we could do as a merger is actually say, we can now keep FFG doing exactly what it is that XFG wants to do, while all these other companies that we're now part of will help us stand on these other feet in these other markets. So this was a terrific opportunity for us to actually, well, it may seem that we somehow diluted FFG, and in fact strengthened our ability to focus on the type of games, big, epic, narrative games. Which is that bullet point right there. It also improves our FFG distribution and marketing in Europe. We do a pretty good job here in the U.S. We put out lots of organized play, we put out demo kits, kind of course. We try very hard to give you guys the best experience possible at Gen Con. There are a lot of people, particularly in Europe, who want that same experience. And what the Asmodee Group is going to be able to help us do is to bring all that good stuff that we do here over to that con. Of course, there's many practical behind-the-scenes improvements. You can probably understand that shipping is very expensive, for example, from China to the U.S., and if you're a bigger company, shipping more containers, just as an example, you can do things more effectively. So there's a lot of great reasons for this, and I cannot say how happy I am to be part of the group, and I really mean this. They're really, really great brothers and sisters for FFG over at Asmodee, and if you guys go look in the room, they have great, fantastic games. We think we are a perfect match. So, what else did we do this year? We made a new website. Some people's horror and other people's delight. But what we did, our old website was really outdated. We had problems with, when we get a lot of traffic, it would actually break down because the code base was actually so archaic. But we had to do something new. We had to do something that we felt would be able to support all the different messages that we wanted to give people. We also wanted something that was accessible to mobile devices, which obviously is a big deal today. Wanted something that was be easier to navigate, and also something that would be easier to implement and build upon. Because we want to add all this great stuff to our website, but no technology can allow us to do that. We also needed something that was more secure, because when you have a game like this, you never know where you're going to end. We need better behind-the-scenes tools. We have great staff that are creating articles and create all sorts of good stuff for everybody that goes on the website, but we need the tools to do that more effectively. We rarely do that website. We're keeping up our upcoming page. That was an important tool for us to retain. I think a lot of people here, who uses the upcoming page? That is actually, I believe, it's our third most visited page. So the front page, I think it's the excellent main page. It is the upcoming page, right? So that was obviously a tool that people really like, and it's something that we actually take a lot of effort on. We go and we try to maintain this as much as we possibly can to give you guys as much updated information about where are all these things at. And like I said before, we are really engaged to build more tools, to build player finders, retail finders, also the community tools in this stuff. It is part of our roadmap. Have patience with us. These kind of initiatives take time to roll out, but we have a lot of great plans for our website. We launched Imperial Assault. That was a big event. Wow. We launched XCOM. And like I said before, I am really fascinated, and I'm really interested in how to marry digital experience with your physical experience. I talked a lot about that last year, and I can tell you that XCOM for us is some phenomenal success. It's doing fantastic. And we do have several other projects where we're trying to push this type of system. Some people are worried about that. Of course, in no way is this going to take over or overtake or just crush on normal game development. This is an R&D effort that we think you're going to see some unbelievably great stuff coming out using this kind of dual technology or physical versus digital. Star Wars Armada. Ooh, wow. This thing released about 4 months ago, and I didn't think we could beat Imperial Assault, but we did. So, you guys must like Star Wars. Forbidden Stars is a game that came out 2 months ago, and to me, I'm really proud of this game. Of course, this was one of the games that we wanted to do when we first did a deal with Games Workshop about 6 or 7 years ago. And we worked on this for quite a while. And to me, it's a great game. Go demo if you can. But to me, I'm really excited about part of it, because this game is part of the FFG DNA, and where we're returning to this big, epic experience in a board game format. And we do a lot of different things. We can't always concentrate on one thing or the other. But I think Forbidden Stars has some of that DNA that we discovered in 2005. So if you want to see where our core has evolved from that point to now, Forbidden Stars is a great example. We, over the years, have published a lot of what we call Euro games. I really like a lot of these games, and there's some of these games that we thought we could bring back in a really spectacular new edition. She's not really known for Euro games, to be fair, so we went this button called Euro Classics. So everybody who don't like it can stay away, and everybody who thinks always stays away from FFG, but maybe say, oh, maybe I'll take those Euro Classics games. These are really fantastic, amazing games. I believe games is like meals. You have many different styles. There's many different experiences, and these are really, really great. I think we're premiering Samurai at the show. Isn't that right? Yeah, cool. So that's here at the show. These are great games. Please check them out. So, what is new at Gen Con? What are our kind of experiences over the last year? I'm kind of zoning in out today. What's new? Living card games. Living card games we introduced, as you saw, in 2008, and they have been an incredible story for us. Games like Game of Thrones, games like Netrunner, Call of Cthulhu, a whole innovative type of product, LCG product with the Lord of the Rings LCG. This is a category we truly believe in, and we're going to keep at. We're going to keep improving. We're going to keep pushing it forward. This year, of course, we are premiering at the show Game of Thrones 2nd Edition. I believe it's sold out. It is sold out. It's pretty sold. I mean, it is that actually, by selling out, is now the officially most successful release at Gen Con FFG ever. We're also releasing a couple of playmats for the game. If you are curious about Game of Thrones, or you've never tried it, there are many demos at the show. There's also a number of tournaments. I'm not sure whether they're sold out or not. Yeah, I'm sorry, they're sold out. But this is really special for us. Like I said, this is a game that sort of came from that card trip to Gen Con, looked at my buddy Alex reading this book, to this game today. And the team behind Game of Thrones have really outdone themselves. They have worked so hard for like almost a year and a half to distill, to improve, to take the experiences of running a game like Game of Thrones for over 10 years and make what we feel is our best ability to make a great LCG experience. So try it out if you have not. Let's talk about other games. Games like Red Planet. Bruno Fight Duty is an old friend of mine, and we have published his Citadels game, as you saw, since 2003. And him and Bruno Cathala have created this amazing game. It was released by Azalea, of all people, about 5 or 6 years ago. And we are now reintroducing it. We work with Bruno to refine the game, and we're just really proud of how it looks. This is a super fun game. Check it out in the booth. Battle Lore has had a big year. First, we released the Battle Lore Command application last year, and we also announced a number of different expansions for this. Battle Lore is really a great problem. We are releasing different monsters, and we are releasing a whole new faction for the game, the Undead, which people are very, very excited about, and I think you can see them in the, you can see all those beautiful Undead skulls down in the booth. So, this is a very important game for us. Descent into the Dark is probably one of our biggest game lines, and I'm very excited to talk a little bit about something new for Descent today. In fact, we've been releasing some monster and hero packs from this line continually over the last year. Today, we're announcing that we're going to be doing a new expansion called Mists of Vile Hall. We're introducing the undead and the undead realms, kind of taking a clue from the undead army in battle lore and bringing it in. So Mists of Vile Hall is going to be released late this year, and we're introducing that, and of course, 3 lieutenant packs alongside it. You don't have anything new for Star Wars Armada at the show, but I do encourage you to go in our display cases and see the previews that we're able to give you of Wave 2. I am absolutely blown away by those models. So there's an Imperial Star Destroyer there that every reason that we had to make that game, and I helped design that game, was that I wanted to see an Imperial Star Destroyer in my game. And now we're very close to getting that Imperial Star Destroyer. I can't wait. Go check it out. They look just fantastic. So there's preview booths for those. And we're also releasing a expansion for Eldritch Horror. Eldritch Horror, as you may know, is our sister product to Arkham Horror. We're basically exploring the world. And that game has just been phenomenal for us. I say phenomenal a lot. So it really is not all sales pitch. It really is true. We haven't embarrassed the riches. But Eldritch Horror has been huge for us. It's so great. We keep selling out on the expansions of the core game, and that's why I'm pretty excited to talk about a new product today for El Tour. So we've had a couple of expansions for that, and last year I announced that you had a chance to go down to the Arctic in the Mountains of Madness, and today let's go to the sands, the deserts of Egypt, and with Under the Pyramids. This is an expansion, it's a big expansion that introduces another side. Does anybody here play El Tour? So one of the things that was a problem, I guess, with Arctic was that we started adding all the expansions together. They kind of became too much. It was too much. We don't have a table space, so the boards were simply causing the game to be too long. We've introduced some really neat mechanics called the preview mechanics. That when you start playing the game, El Tour, using the preview mechanic, it's actually gamifying what expansions you use, what sideboards you use, and so on, which we think will allow you to own all these expansions and experience them in kind of a varied way that actually allows the game not to sort of become overdone and overloaded. The pyramids. Late this year. So back on the role-playing, as you know, role-playing for us for many, many years we've been doing it, and we had such excitement, and we were so honored that little comic book publisher, could do the role-playing game for Star Wars. We thought long and hard about, of course, how to do that, and we looked at all the boards and what other people wanted. Of course, what we really found out is that everybody wants different things out of the Star Wars universe, which is great. So we decided instead of making one big encompassing tome for Star Wars, we would split the experience into the three archetype experiences that we believe that universe really kind of has to offer, which is, of course, the Edge of the Empire, your scum and ability, your flawed heroes, your smugglers, and your kind of roguish adventures. Then there is the Age of Rebellion, which we published with Edge of the Empire. Then you're getting into Age of Rebellion, which of course is more the martial experiences. It's covert missions, military ships, dogfights, battleships, and so on. And that last experience, that last thing that makes Star Wars so special is, of course, the Force, the Jedi. Really happy to say that at the show, Force of Destiny is out, and the cycle is completed last. Great. We hope you'll check these out. So if you're only interested in one of those categories, then we have a whole portfolio and a whole amazing amount of products to discover just that section of Star Wars. But if you're interested in Star Wars as a whole, the line is designed. You can basically fit everything, and you can customize Star Wars in the kind of flavor that you want. It's been designed very meticulously to do that. So that's Star Wars role-playing. Imperial Assault. We are actually premiering a whole bunch of stuff for Imperial Assault at the show. Due to a strange contractual issue, we actually cannot sell it in our booth, but fortunately one of our partners, Adventure Retail, is able to premiere all of these Imperial Assault schemes. We're really, really happy with them. So this is Twin Shadows expansion. It's at the show, and one of the things that I've been asked most about the show, other than why is it not in our booth, is what's next for Imperial Assault. I want to tell you about that today. There is a whole bunch of expansion packs that we've announced already. These are going to be great. They're both playable in the campaign. And of course, what makes Imperial Assault unique is that there's also a skirmish game in it, which really makes it a small miniatures game where you can fight, you can put together a task group of different characters, different abilities, and you're putting that together against an opponent, you're playing a head-to-head match. So it's both kind of a big, broad, huge, epic scale role-playing adventure game, and it's a skirmish head-to-head game. And so we are releasing these individual packs, partially to give you more inserted materials for the campaign, but also to give you more grid, more options for your skirmish game. So that's coming, those are coming next month. I'm sorry, in September. Usually campaign is in August. It's really weird. Anyway, and another small way that we announced are also coming late this year. But what's really exciting is the next major release for Imperial Assault. And we try not to be predictable, but in this case we just couldn't not be. We had to go back to Hoth. So we are going to be releasing this fall, Return to Hoth. Okay, this is a big box, It is a full campaign. It is as big, as broad, as epic as a campaign before set. It has lots of new sculpts and miniatures that will all be on display. 1 hour later after that, 1 hour after we're done here today, and it's going to be down in the booth. And I am excited to show you those wampas and special speeders and everything that we have in that box. If you're over at Imperial Assault, I hope you're as excited about this. It's going to be great. What would... What would a modern day FFG flight board be without some nice, cool stuff for X-Wing? I'm going to deliver that today for you. So, X-Wing, I stopped, the Raider flew away. We are, of course, premiering the Imperial Raider at the show. It has been an incredible experience for us to not only be able to make a ship that big and that cool, but this is also a ship that we work hand in hand with Lucasfilm on, designing the narrative, the look, the scope of this actual ship. So this industry, us, you guys, have put this ship into the Star Wars universe. Happy flying. Too trigger happy. So we're also, of course, releasing X-Wing Wave 7. Which gives you more stuff for the Scumability faction. It gives you the, I think it's a TIE Punisher for the Imperials, and the K-Wing. We have a lot of critique on the K-Wing. It's a weird looking ship. I think it's great. I disagree. You guys should go check this out. I think it's cool. Okay, I know you want to talk about new stuff. Let's do that. So, X-Wing, of course, is very important to us. X-Wing is by far our biggest product line. And so we take this product line extremely seriously. And so one of the things that's very important to us is supposed to finding out what do we do next? What more kind of ships can we do? Because it is a finite universe, it's a finite amount of stuff out there. We want to bring you the best we can. Which is why it's really great for us that there's some new stuff coming for Star Wars. Specifically, there was a TV show called Rebels that made this little guy famous. The Imperial Assault Carrier. So this is a big ship. You have seen it if you see the Rebels TV show. Anybody see the Rebels TV show? Yeah. Okay, and there are 2 TIE fighters that come with that, so there's going to be a lot more cars and cool stuff for your TIE fighters. What's really cool about the ship, actually, you don't see that in this picture, but those TIE fighters, plus 2 other TIE fighters, if you have them, will actually socket up underneath the actual ship. Rules for actually allowing those to be in play. So you actually see them, I think, in Anton's down there. They're all ready to go. So that this will be on display with the socketed TIE fighters. I'm really excited about that. So that's some good news for X-Wing, except I got more stuff for you.
There's more.
Wave 8. Wave 8. I don't know what's wrong with my remote. It must go too fast. Wave 8, we're going to be releasing Wave 8 this year, or very, very, very early next year. We're not 100% sure. Wave 8 is coming, I hope, in late November or late December, and there are going to be 4 ships. We're going to be doing 2 ships that are famous for being the ships of the bounty hunters, and I think this will complete the cycle of the bounty hunter ships. The Mist Hunter. The Mist Hunter is, who flies the Mist Hunter again? Yes. Zuckus. The other one's the punching one. All right. So we'll have 2 awesome Scumability ships coming soon, Wave 8. We also have the Inquisitor's TIE. Oh my God. As you see from Rebels, this is a new TIE, special TIE construct that was made for the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor was one of the characters from the Rebels TV show. Of course, when we talk about the Rebels TV show, probably the most iconic ship in the Rebels TV show is this guy.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
you know that the Ghost has a little attachment ship called the Phantom. And this box was shipped with the Ghost and with the Phantom. And the team has worked really hard on creating some really exceptional rules that actually integrate the idea that the Phantom and the Ghost are a team. And so I really hope that you love not only the look of the ship, but how it flies, and how uniquely we try to integrate the game design with the idea of the mothership and its little child. So, what do you think?
Yeah!
Excellent. Wow. Let's move on. Oh, there it is again. Wait. I think I say early 2016 here. We are hoping to get out at the end of the year, but you have to forgive us if we may get it slightly late. There's some other important stuff going on that we're dealing with in the factory that I can't tell you about today. So therefore, I'm going to be talking about some new games. We have 3 games that we've been working on for quite a long time, and I'm really proud of them. The first game we already did announce, which was, here we go. We announced it a couple of days ago, which is our new version of Fury Dracula. We are demoing this game in the booth, and every response I'm getting is that they are blown away by, first of all, this fantastic game. People have never tried it before, but I'm very, very proud of what we've done to actually make this an even better Fury Dracula. If you have played Fury Dracula in the past and you're skeptical of what we have done, I dare you, go get that demo. It is really great. So we're going to be putting this out in the fall. Some people may hope for Halloween. I hope for Halloween, but that will probably be slightly later than that. So Fury Dracula, very excited about that. Another product that we're very, very excited about is this little guy. Like I said, we have a very, very important long-term relationship with Games Workshop, and we have been working on many, many different things over the years. And one of the things that I'm excited about is the popularity and enduring love for Warhammer Quest. We have worked with a couple of designers, actually some ex-employees that are here today. Big praise. These guys, yes, they deserve an applause, please. Awesome game experience, Warhammer Quest. We call it Warhammer Quest Adventure Card Game. Okay, this is going to be a, I believe, $39.95 card game, and it is going to be a game where you have a hero in the old world, and you're going to be taking that hero through a whole campaign. And I think there's 2 campaigns in the box, you basically go through the entire campaign. It's a collaborative game, and it is challenging. It is a very challenging game. Very excited about Warhammer Quest. Very excited about getting our Vanished by logo, which is a novel and amazing property. So that is going to be demoed today. It's displayed in the display cases, and as we speak, or maybe shortly in a couple minutes, as soon as he gets there, the demo tables will be rolled out. Okay, so if you want to try Warhammer Quest Adventure Card Game, we got it for you. So it's coming late this year. And the next announcement I'm pretty excited about, because as we have done so many science fiction games, and as we've got involved in so many successful licenses, and I know that you like X-Wing, there are a few games that from our past that mean a lot to us, and we've worked on a very, very long time to try to get back into the light.
Yeah.
So let's bring Runebound back.
Runebound.
Runebound is the #1 most requested reprint that FMG gets. We wanted to do it right, so we've been working on this for a long time. Runebound has been reimagined almost from the grassroots. We try to keep all the aspects of Runebound that really made it, really gave its identity, but we took everything else and said, no sacred cows, let's make this new version of Runebound the best possible adventure board game that we could make. And I'm really excited about some of the innovations that we put into this. I'm not going to go over that too much longer because we do have to end. I want to get some questions in, but I'm very, very excited about this. It's also going to be demoed as soon as Anton gets back to the booth. So, some people, I'm sure, are wondering what's going on with this. And what's going on with that is that I can't tell you anything about it for a short while longer. I am very excited about what we have going on in this particular little ditty, but the secrecy and the level of death imposed upon me, if I tell you anything about this right now, is enormous. So have a little more patience on this ground. This is the third show where I'm just going tease, tease, tease. Some of this stuff is coming. I wish I did not have to, but we have a product on the water. It's coming, and you will know when it is. That's all I can say.